Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today we have PvE Hardcore Operation Red Possum. And today I'm going to be focusing on talking about the Leopard 2A4 Evolution. It is a Tier 8 premium, non-premium Leopard 2. There's also the Tier 2 A4 Leopard Revolution. And actually, they're technically the same tank, and I'm going to get to that here in a bit as I make the discussion of the tank. But we'll take a look over here. This is the Swiss digital camo that they were actually selling in the loot shop. Pretty nice looking camo, used on quite a few vehicles. And I'd also like you to take a notation here of the armor package, because I want to talk a bit more about that here in a little bit as well. But alright, let's begin, shall we? The Leopard 2A4 really begins with the Leopard 2. Obviously, it is just an upgrade of the Leopard 2 family of tanks.
The Alliance of Neckwheel have taken over this region, and we need to retreat. Clear our escape route so we can get everyone out of there.
There's that hydropneumatic suspension sound I don't have yet. The teammate has it. So we're hearing that.
Identified.
Hostile PC. New orders, Black Company. We know that the Alliance of Neckwheel are going to use the oil here for their own gain. Plant explosives in the marked targets so they can't get their hands on anything. Let's ruin their day. Damn it, they hit my sight!
I'm also going to take and post a link in the video description as well of the Tier 7 Leopard 2 replay I have, because a lot of similarities from the Leopard 2 is also in the Leopard 2A4, as obviously, as I said, it is just an improvement of the Leopard 2. While the Leopard 2 would start the Leopard 2 family, the Leopard 2 would quickly become the Leopard 2A1. The Leopard 2A1 would feature minor upgrades, such as installation of a thermal gunnery sight. Other and more noticeable modifications would include a redesign of the ammo rack to make the ammo stowage more in line with the M1A1 Abrams. There would also be changes made to the fuel filter system, allowing for faster refueling. This would be the second batch of 450 Leopard 2s.
Identify target.
And they would be delivered from March of 1982 to November of 1983. A third batch of Leopard 2A1s would be built between November 1983 to November of 1984, totaling another 300 Leopard 2A1s. The next upgrade package in the Leopard 2 family would be the Leopard 2A2. This program was to upgrade the first batch of Leopard 2s to Leopard 2A1 standard, but would include feature upgrades. These upgrades would include filling filters and caps to the forward fuel tanks so they could be filled separately from the rest of the fuel tanks. There was a deflector plate added to the periscope. Also, a cover plate was added to the existing NBC protection system. The fourth batch of Leopard 2s was the Leopard 2A3. 300 vehicles would be produced, 165 by Kraus Maffei and 135 by Mack. The new Leopard 2A3s were delivered from December of 1984 to December of 1985. The main change was the addition of an SEM 8090 digital radio. Now, to put out here as a notation, there was also notation in some resources saying that some of the ammunition stowage doors was welded.
Identify target.
I can't confirm what doors were welded, what kind of work was done, nor can I confirm it was actually done. We'll just throw it in there as a notation.
Penetrated.
Now we finally get to the Leopard 2A4. The Leopard 2A4 was the most widespread version of the Leopard 2. The model included some very subtle changes. Substantial changes. These changes would include an automated fire suppression system, all digital fire control, and a new and improved turret. The new turret would be flat-faced, much like the older Leopard 2 turret, but it would be now constructed out of a layered titanium tungsten steel plate construction to form a type of composite armor. The original turret was layers of laminate steel to make a composite type armor. All older models of Leopard 2s would be upgraded to Leopard 2A4s, as well as the next 4 batches of Leopard 2s produced would be actually Leopard 2A4s. All in all, Germany operated a total of 2,125 Leopard 2A4s. The Netherlands also had an additional 445 Leopard 2A4s. The Leopard 2A4 was also produced in Switzerland as the Panzer 87, and they had produced a total of 380 PZ-87s. Production of the Leopard 2A4 ran from 1985 to 1994. After 2000, Germany and the Netherlands both found themselves with a large stocks of tanks that were no longer needed. These overstocked tanks would be sold to NATO countries, NATO or allied countries. Among the list of buyers of the Leopard 2A4s would be Turkey with 354, Greece with 183, Sweden with 160, Chile with 140, and that's Chile as the country, not Chile as Chile. Finland with 139, Poland, probably one of the more recent buyers, with 128. Austria purchased 114. Spain produced 108. Canada, my neighbor to the north, has 107. Singapore purchased 96. Norway 52. Denmark had purchased 51. And Portugal had purchased 37.
We're loading up the tanker now, so keep them off of us.
Now to the Leopard 2A4 Revolution modular upgrade package. It was an upgrade program developed by Rheinmetall and revealed in 2010. It is also referred as the Leopard 2A4 Evolution. As it goes, the Leopard 2A4 being the most widespread variant of the Leopard 2 and still sees widespread service with many countries, is in need of continuous upgrades. The Evolution package, or Revolution package, however you want to go by it, is an armor protection package.
Nice work.
The package is to make the Leopard 2A4 better suited for urban combat, as well as give it additional protection from ambush. It is fitted with a new Advanced Modular Armor Protection, AMAP for short. This is a composite armor package that makes use of nano-ceramic materials, as well as modern titanium steel alloys. This increases the level of protection of the Leopard 2A4. Also, because of the additional armor is modular, it can quickly be replaced when needed. Of course, this comes at the cost of weight. The AMAP package increases the weight from 56.6 tons to 60 tons. The Revolution also adds a 12.7 millimeter remote machine gun station that usually sits right on top of the turret, and I believe it can be seen on the Revolution model in-game. The Revolution still retains the 120 millimeter smoothbore L44 main gun, but the tank is fitted with a new state-of-the-art fire control system. A 360-degree periscope is fitted, as well as a battlefield management system for the commander. The Leopard 2A4 Revolution retains the 1500 horsepower MTU MB837KA501 turbo diesel engine. As of 2010, Singapore has 96 revolutions, and Indonesia was seeking a total of 61 revolution tanks. That was a lot to cram in, and the replay's pretty well over. I'll talk more about the tank, though. Let me pull up my results here. And we'll talk more about the tank and armored warfare. The Leopard 2A4 Evolution is the Tier 8. It's a Tier 8 non-premium. It is right alongside the Leopard 2A5. There's some things to point out, though, about the Leopard 2A4 Evolution versus the Leopard 2A5. The Leopard 2A4 has actually a slower reload. How about we just call it A4 from now forward, so I don't have to talk so much. But the A4 actually suffers from a slightly slower reload than the A5 does. The A5 is pretty manageable, pretty tolerable. The A4 stock is actually pretty miserable, and that is even with a Mark II breech block. So it's definitely one of those things you want to try and get the reload speed down as fast as you can and as quickly as you can, because it's a very intolerable grind. I do actually not have this fully upgraded, as it also has an APS, and there's actually some other features of this tank I do not have unlocked yet. This is actually not a fully upgraded tank for this replay. However, you saw me do fairly well. Things to point out about this tank when it comes to armor piercing protection, Sabo ammunition protection. This tank is actually not much an improvement over the Tier 7 Leopard 2. Now, that being said, the Leopard 2A5 is actually not a very high step up in the range of armor protection. But what this has over the A4 versus the A5 is this actually has incredible heat and ATGM protection with its spaced armor package. Actually, surprisingly, for most vehicles up until Tier 10, the front of this vehicle is completely red from shaped ammunition. That's even including around the turret ring. Now, when you get to Tier 10, it gets a little different. However, that being said, this thing can still eat missiles even from a T-15, and I do value that quite a bit. Now, one thing that does have going against it is honestly, it's got cage armor around the rear of the turret and around the rear of the engine deck area, and it really doesn't provide the most amazing protection, although sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll bounce a shot. The forward area, though, will bounce shots from the forward side area where you see the big composite plates, is somewhat protective from ATGMs and heat ammunition, and you're more likely to bounce a shot there than anywhere else along the side or rear, for that matters. It is a slightly slower accelerating tank, but I do find the top speed to be roughly about the same. So it does keep pretty decent mobility for the fact that it's a heavier tank, and in all honesty, its speed is hardly even noticeable, the slower speed. All in all, it's actually a fun tank to play. I think the reason you don't see these very often is because there's actually really no reason to play the Leopard 2A4 as there is for the Leopard 2A5. And in general terms, as a more general term, the Leopard 2A5 is actually the better tank of the two tanks. However, this is still not bad, and I would say if you're looking for another Leopard tank to play, check this Leopard tank out. It's actually not a complete disappointment. You know, even fully upgraded, though, its reload speed is a little bit of a disappointment, and you will have trouble trying to keep up with damage compared to other tanks. However, the major advantage is you can eat ATGMs like candy. I do value that. But anyway, folks, that was the end of the match. Let's wrap this up with I did 21,188 damage. I spotted 8 enemy vehicles and destroyed 6. This is actually not my best match out of the Leopard 2A4, but it was still a pretty decent match. Got myself a blue star, a target, and a supporting fire. And I would be top damage overall. However, I would actually be number 3 in spotting. But all in all, said and done, comparing my damage and my spotting to the rest of my team, I was able to easily get the blue star. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching. Once again, had another discussion about tanks, and that's why I do these videos. Hopefully, you've been enjoying the discussions I've been having about the tanks and the information I have been putting out there. There's a lot of information about these tanks, and I'm just more or less trying to raise awareness. Now, I am starting to get towards like kind of the end of the line of I'm not sure really what tanks to air next, although there's still quite a few per se AFVs and tank destroyers I can probably work on, but we'll see where the future of my videos goes. Anyway, folks, once again, thank you very much for watching. Sorry I went a little long. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you for the next video.